presentation so we can go get out of here. And so I'll go ahead and kick this off. This is the West College Avenue Water Main Replacement Project. If you expect to hear something else, you're probably in the wrong meeting. But we're going to tell you a little bit about the West College Avenue project and what to expect. So this is going to be our agenda for tonight. We're going to start with some introductions, greetings. Then we're going to lead with a team of professionals that's going to tell you more about the project, what to expect, the duration of the project, contact information, and all that good stuff that's going to be there. Next slide, please. Again, welcome. I'm Mr. Kerry Williams. I'm Deputy Director for the DeKalb County Watershed. Next slide, please. And I'd like to send a greetings out to the commissioners whose district this project expands across, which is Commissioner Long Spears, District 2, Commissioner Shakara Johnson, District 4, and our new presiding officer for the Board of Commissioners, along with Commissioner Ted Terry, whose district crosses in Super District 6. And I'm not sure if we have any representatives from any of these commissioners or their officers there. If they do, I can stop for a second and give you a chance to speak. I don't think we have any, but if we do, I can stop and we give you a chance to speak. Other than that, we're going to keep moving. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little overview of what we do on a daily basis here in Watershed. Contrary to what everybody think we do a whole lot. We serve approximately about 700,000 customers in DeKalb County. We serve water, so we provide drinking water to your house and we treat wastewater as well. We do this via the Scott Candler Water Treatment Plant, which is the only water treatment plant in DeKalb County, which provides water to your homes. We have two wastewater treatment plants, the Snapfinger Wastewater Treatment Plant and the Pole Bridge Wastewater Treatment Plant, which treats roughly the eastern part and middle part from DeKalb County down. The northern parts are served by City of Atlanta and Fulton County as far as the wastewater treatment. We also maintain about 5,000 miles of water distribution and sanitary sewer pipes. These pipes have been in the ground longer than most people on this been alive on this meeting. And as you know, you can't see it, but they do age just like a road gets potholes, pipes get old, and they have to be replaced, which is partially the cause for this meeting or why we are talking about replacing these pipes. Next slide, please. So how do we do? What do we do? Why are we doing this? We want to reduce the likelihood of water main breaks. We want to improve customer service, better pressure, and reduce disruptions due to the breaks in there. So upgrade our community again. Roads you can see get old. Pipes on the ground, you can't see them get old, but we have technology that we can see that they're old. And anytime the significant infrastructure upgrades take place, such as a road improvement, and we have infrastructure there, we do work with those such as GDOT to replace our infrastructure as well. Disrupt the community only one time. Next slide, please. Oh, so how do we do this? We have a team, including DWM, DeKalb County Watershed, engineering consultant AECOM, contractor SAK, and GS Construction. These are the people that help us maintain our infrastructure on these type projects. Next slide, please. So I'm going to step aside and let Ms. Cassandra Marshall, who's the Assistant Director of Watershed, tell you about the problem and the solution. And with that, Ms. Marshall, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. Good evening, everybody. My name is Cassandra Marshall. My duties include overseeing Watershed's $4.27 billion capital improvement program. I also manage the construction management staff and the construction contracts. Next slide. The problem. So primarily, the reason for the project is due to just age infrastructure. The pipes was put in the 1950s. And also the pipes are kind of undersized just due to the populations and the demand changes for the area. Typically the lifespan for these pipes are 70 plus years. So they're at the age when they need to be replaced also. Also, this area has although it has had minimal failures, the urgency of the work has to do with the upcoming GDOT project, where they're going to do a streetscape project, where they're going to pave curb to curb. So the goal is for a watershed to get our infrastructure upgraded in first prior to them doing the resurfacing project. Next slide. So the solution, in 2024, the Board of Commissioners approved a new CIP plan for $4.27 billion for projects to be completed from 2025 to 2034. This project, West College Avenue Water Main Replacement Project, is a $15 million project that is included within that plan. My team, the capital improvement team, is responsible for executing that work and getting the work done. My team includes 4 DWM construction managers, 12 licensed inspectors. Next up in the presentation, you will also hear from the DWM construction manager, Mr. Danny Mathis. Danny has over 30 years of construction experience, and he also holds multiple state licenses and certifications. Next slide. You will now hear from Mr. Danny Mathis about the project scope.
Thank you, Cassandra, for the warm introduction. Again, my name is Danny Mathis. I am the construction manager. I'm responsible for the annual water sewer project, also CIPP contracted projects. Next slide. West College Avenue Water Main Replacement Project Scope. Planned work includes, we'll be installing nearly 420 linear feet of 6-inch pipe, DIP pipe, 550 linear feet, a DIP pipe, and 8-inch pipe and water mains, 5,800 linear feet, a 12-inch DIP pipe, and 2,250 linear feet of 16-inch DIP pipe, including service lines, hydrants, valves, pavement restoration, water meters, boxes, and grades. The trench will be milled and resurfaced once the new main is installed. The site conditions will be altered from the existing ones. All disturbed pavement and landscapes will be replaced in kind. Erosion control BMPs will be installed throughout the entire water main alignment. No more than 1,000 linear foot of trench will be open at one time and must be backfilled and covered daily. Next slide. These are the roads that's going to be impacted through this project. We have Arcadia Avenue, we have Dairy Down Way, Sam Street, New Street, Wheat Street, Commerce Drive, South Columbia Drive, Avery Street, South Columbia, Lakeshore Drive, and Emerald Drive. What to expect? Unfortunately, what comes with construction is inconvenience, which we plan to minimize the inconvenience. What you're going to see is a lot of construction traffic, foot traffic, vehicles, large trucks, and heavy equipment. There will be a construction worker, county worker, and contract worker throughout your community. There will be materials and equipment delivered by means of large tractor trailers truck. Crews and flaggers will guide you through these zones. What also comes with working in these areas is parking issues. There will be vehicles parked along the side of the street and along the work zone. Work zones will be delineated by means of cones, barrels. In addition, as a security measure, all county contractors and county employees will be identified with a badge and marked vehicles. There will be increased noise from equipment, backup alarms, heavy equipment, uses of saws, and cutting asphalt. Our typical hours is going to be 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, and sometimes weekends. Residents will have access to their driveways during this construction. Notifications will be distributed prior to water service disruption. One last item you will see is silt on the streets. If dust and silt is traced, on the streets. The contractor will be responsible for keeping the street clean and swept daily. The next person you will hear from would be Eric Mitchell. Eric Mitchell has about 10 years of experience in construction.
Thanks for the introduction, Mr. Mathis. Next slide, please. My team and I are the boots on the ground. We are the first point of contact for this project. From day one, we're on site monitoring all construction activities. We check that erosion and sediment controls are in place, confirm that contractor installs the pipe exactly as designed, and ensure that safety protocols are followed at all times. At the end of each day, we make sure trenches and holes are properly backfilled and secured so the area is safe for residents and traffic. Next slide, please. Methods of construction. This project will use two methods of construction, the open cut method and trenchless method. Open cut consists of cutting the asphalt, digging the trench, and installing new water line, backfilling the trench and replacing the asphalt. Our trenchless method, which is the least invasive method of pipe installation, consists of inverting a liner through the existing pipe from identified open cut entry pits. Other open cut entry pits may include tie-in and connection points. Next slide, please. Project duration is about 11 months. Scheduled activities, community notices went out on January 16th. Our community meeting is today, January 22nd. The contractors will mobilization will be on February 2nd. Construction will start on February 9th. Final restoration, which includes paving, will start in October this year, and the end of construction will be December 2026. Next slide, please. Overall, the construction team will ensure that this project is completed and is properly restored. The picture on your left shows the typical construction work site or zone. The pictures on your right show how property will be restored in kind or better. The one we're going to be using on your right is going to be that bottom picture, which is a trench paving, because GDOT will be coming in afterwards to do a streetscape, and then we'll be paving curb to curb. I will now turn back over to Ms. Marshall, who will discuss community awareness.
Marshall, you muted.
Thank you, Danny. I was talking to myself. Next slide. Go to the community awareness slide. So Danny kind of touched bases on this already of what to expect. Increased construction traffic, foot and vehicles. However, we will have the contractors have flaggers to guide the cars, the pedestrian traffic throughout the construction zone. Safety and security, we will have delineated work zones. Any contractors or subcontractor or employees, they should have a county issued badge. Typical work hours, pretty much based on the GDOT permit. Right now we're saying it's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., but it's really depending on whatever GDOT is saying we're allowed it to work in. Prior notifications, if need be, for water shut off. We typically give those 24 to 48 hours before any shut off and doing transfers. And environmental protection, we would have BMPs for dust control or any erosion control measures. Next slide. Construction yard signage or large project signs will be placed up to inform the community of the upcoming projects. In addition, we will also be putting up flashing traffic control signs. Those should be put up in the next week or so. Also, as a security measure, we require our county contractors, employees, or subcontractors, if they're in an unmarked vehicle, we require that they have the DeKalb County Watershed generic logo that's on the bottom right-hand side. Or if you are a company that are working with the county, it can have their company logo on the side of the vehicle. Next slide. Again, the contractor will be responsible for providing traffic control that guides the residents and the traffic through the construction zone. As far as starting the work, we will have a crew that will start at the South Candler Inn heading east. And then we will also have a second crew that will start at Arcadia heading west toward South Candler. The contractor will also have a laydown area off of East College. That will be 601 East College Avenue. And again, for any planned outages such as service line transfer, this typically only takes maybe 30 minutes for the contractor to do. But in order for to do that, we will give some type of notification in advance of any planned outages. If it is an emergency outage, which it does occur when we're doing the work, hitting unknown utilities, there's pretty much no notifications. We're just going in repair mode. Next slide. So next you will hear about public communications from Miss Alicia Penny.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. Good evening, everyone. My name is Miss Alicia Penny, and I am the Public Relations Manager for the Department of Watershed Management. I've been with the department for over 20 years, in charge of communications. And tonight I will be sharing with you the ways that we will communicate with you throughout this project to make sure that we're partnering with you and you have an awareness of everything that's going on with the project. Next slide, please. Ahead of tonight's meeting, you should have received a letter similar to the one displayed here to the far left. The letter was a notification letter letting you know about the meeting for tonight, as well as the overall project and when it would start and the duration. Going forward, 48 to 72 hours ahead of any substantial work that's happening with the project, such as water shutoffs or any change in the project hours. If we're planning to do work on the weekends, you will receive a door hanger notification like the one that's pictured here. We also will use email notifications to inform you about updates for the project. And so what I'd like to ask everyone to do is if you would please provide us with your email addresses in the chat, we can capture that information and add it to our project listserv so that when we have updates about the project, which will be going out periodically, we can send that information to you. Next slide, please. Touch points. These are the ways that we will connect with you during this project. I will share with you later on the project hotline number. It is an unmanned line, but the messages are checked and returned within 24 to 48 hours. There's also an email associated with the project hotline. We will share that information as well. There is a dedicated project page for this project on our watershed management website. And there you will find all of the information about the project. There will be the maps, tonight's letter, tonight's presentation, the YouTube recording or the recording for tonight's presentation will be there, as well as a copy of the PowerPoint presentation will be posted there as well. And we can share that link with you. We will also use social media, Facebook and X, which is Twitter, to provide updates about this project. And I will share those QR codes in just a few minutes. And finally, we do use news releases where we notify not only residents, but we notify the media and other community partners about what is going on with the project. So ahead of tonight's meeting, we did have a news release go out letting the public know that this project is coming. Other methods would be Nextdoor. We do use that as a tool of communication. And as Ms. Marshall mentioned earlier, we will have project signs posted throughout the project area so that you're aware that we are there. And our contractors are there on site in marked vehicles. And so you'll be able to see them readily available there as they're working to complete this project. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, we do have several methods of how we're going to communicate. And here we have all of our QR codes for all of our different methods. We have Nextdoor, Facebook, X, YouTube, and the most important one is the CIP projects page. That page takes you directly to where we have a listing of all of our CIP projects. We do have a page already established for this project. And after tonight's meeting, we will be adding the project recording, the meeting recording, as well as the presentation. So I'll pause for a minute to allow you if you want to scan these QR codes. Okay, next slide, please. I mentioned previously that we have a project hotline, and here's the number. It is 1-800 number. It is also listed on the project sign, the big project sign that will be posted in the area of the project. There's a project info email that alerts us that you've left us an email message and you have questions about the project. That's the important ways of reaching us. Also, here we have key individuals in the department and their contact information: construction inspector, our inspection supervisor. All of those individuals, their phone numbers and their email addresses are listed here. Most importantly, if there is an emergency that happens outside of normal business hours, we ask that you call our 24/7 dispatch line, which is listed here, or you can email dispatch, and that's the 770-270-6243 line. There's always someone who answers that line, and you can leave a message if it is an emergency and outside of the normal construction hours. Next slide, please. This completes our presentation for tonight. We'll now move into the question and answer period. I do already see some questions here, which I will begin to address. If you do have questions, I ask that you please place those questions into the chat, and we can pull those from the chat and answer those questions. First question I see is, will we be able to have a copy of the presentation deck? Yes, that presentation will be, as I stated before, it will be posted on the project page under the CIP project page on our website. So you will have that available. Okay, I have a question. Will we get a summary or a copy of these slides after the meeting? The answer again is yes. There will be information provided. The presentation will be provided on the project page. How will notifications of water shutoffs be delivered to affected residents? It will be by the door hangers that I mentioned before. Those door hangers will go out 48 to 72 hours ahead of water shutoffs so that you can prepare and you will have an expectation for how long your water will be off. Can you confirm the timing of the project? The notice stated 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. though 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. was shared on this call?
So in our just overall contract with the contractors, we have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. as our typical work hours. However, the contractor has to conform to the hours of the permit, considering the fact that we're working within the GDOT right away. GDOT typically limits that we're not working at the same time as rush hours. So we've just kind of put in 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it could very well even be reduced from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's all just dependent upon what GDOT puts in the permit.
Okay, our next question. I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Outside of emergency issues, water shutoffs are only expected to last 30 minutes during this project.
So no. So I think I was talking about when we're transferring your service line from the old line, the new line to your meter, where you're getting fed from the new pipe we just installed. Typically that takes 30 minutes. But that doesn't mean every outage is going to be 30 minutes.
Okay, next question. It sounds like this project is being done in advance of any future streetscape projects, meaning any future improvements to the College Commerce intersection will not begin until the water main project concludes in December 2026.
So we have been in concert with GDOT in our schedule. They're planning to, I think, start or let their project in November. So we're trying to finish way ahead of that time frame. So we're trying to go fast paced and get in and out prior to them starting that work.
Okay. Will any construction be taking place on the streets listed earlier in the call, or will the construction be limited to Covington Highway, College Avenue?
So I believe the construction is limited to College Avenue, Covington Highway. However, we have to tie in the lines that are coming from those side streets. So right at those intersections, as you're coming into College Ave, there will be work happening of those intersections.
Okay, as the director of Agnes Scott College, how will you notify the college so we can notify students and faculty?
Of what kind of notice? What are we trying to notify them of? An outage or something?
In general, we will be using, he said yes. In general, we will be using the email address to communicate with you about project updates. So the email address that you've given us, that will be utilized to give you updates so that you can share that information with your students and faculty. Okay, next question. How widespread, frequent are water outages expected to be for the residences?
Planned outages are usually very minimal when we're tying the new service into your meter. Again, the fact that the pipe is old, there are unknown utilities under the ground that we don't necessarily know, and we may hit, and there are unplanned outages. Those we cannot tell you how long it's going to take. Again, we just go in repair mode. If we put in people without water, of repairing the old pipe to get the service back up as quickly as possible.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. Again, if you have not shared with us yet your email address, please put that information in the chat so that we can grab that information and add it to our list so that we can share critical updates about the project. And if you have any additional questions that come to mind after tonight, you can reach us through this project information line, the 1-800 number. Okay, I do see another question. There are some side streets off Covington that were not mentioned. Stratford Road and Stratford Green, will these be tied in?
I'm not sure. We would have to get back to you on that. So just leave an email address for us to respond.
If you send an email to the project information email address, we can get that information back to you. Are there any other questions related to the project? If not, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Williams.
All right. I guess since there are no more questions, we're going to go ahead and conclude this meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And again, Ms. Penny has given you information on how you can get in contact if you have any questions that come up after this meeting. Again, thank you guys for coming out. And if you got any questions, use the contact information that's been shared. Thank you and have a good evening. That concludes the meeting.